bank holiday this weekend. Not sure what's wrong with my voice. It's bank holiday this weekend, and it is miserable weather. Man, it was so hot yesterday. All morning I was at work. Luckily I only worked for half a day, but I went to meet Charlotte on the beach yesterday at Bondi. As soon as I got there, the clouds came in, and it's pretty much stayed that way since then. Grey. It is actually raining. So I had plans to go to the pub basically and sit in a beer garden as we have 3 days off, but that's not going to happen. So instead, made myself a cup of tea, gonna watch Spider-Man. Which Spider-Man is it? Not Far From Home, saw that. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Universe. Spider. The comic book one. Gonna watch that because Charlotte wasn't keen, but she's at work. So I'm gonna give that a go. And then I might go back over to Bondi. It's a television. Might go back over to Bondi for a surf today because it's about 3-5 foot swell at the minute. If I can be bothered to get there before lunchtime. Gonna watch this first. Love Marvel. Oh no! I got it mixed up. This is Far From Home. I saw this in the cinema. Man, I thought the other one was on here. Turns out that Spider-Man was actually on Netflix, not on the TV. So I'm gonna watch Detective Pikachu instead, because Charlotte doesn't really like these kinds of films. So while the cat's away, the mice is gonna watch some kids films, baby. It's a new day. It's Sunday now. Yesterday was not that productive. You know, sometimes you just have those days where you don't really want to do anything and you're happy sitting on the sofa watching a couple of films. That was one of those days. And it was grey outside anyway, so didn't really miss much. But today is a new day, and there is blue skies and sunshine. The Australia I came for. So I can use these new bad boys. Bought these yesterday, did do something yesterday. I went and got a couple of new tops for the East Coast and these new sunnies, which I love. Needed some new ones because my old ones have gone a bit faded and they're looking a little bit dead now, but they've done very well. They've lasted me for over a year since we left the UK through the incredible heat in Asia, so pretty happy with that. But time for some new ones. I'm going to go to the gym now. Charlotte's at work again, but she's finishing a little bit earlier today, so maybe we'll go and enjoy the sunshine when she's back, and I'll take you with us wherever we go. I don't know where. Probably for a drink somewhere. So, peace.
Oh
Oh, you are balanced on the top of a bottle of milk and it's very wobbly. Gym, done. Food, done. Granted, that didn't look very nice, but it's all gone. Very low carb, high protein, 4 eggs, 3 sausages, chicken sausages, so they're better, and some tomatoes to give it a bit of flavour. Otherwise I think it might be a bit boring. Just waiting for Shah to finish work. Watching a bit of Beard Meets Food. This dude can put away a lot of food, which is quite good really, considering that's now his job. Check him out, Beard Meets Food on YouTube. He has done some ridiculous challenges. At the minute he's trying to eat 50 hamburgers from McDonald's. I would manage about 3 maybe. It's a lot of bread. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll get a bit more exciting later. Time to have a shower and then chill out for a bit, I think. Hello? Shower done. Very quiet. This is not really what I had planned for the vlog, but I don't think we're going to be getting outside to enjoy the weather because the clouds have come back again. Charlotte's still at work. So, I thought I would go over the benefits of travelling, as I haven't really spoken about it much. For anybody who doesn't know, not just me, Shah and Dave, my brother, we left the UK in August last year. So that was over a year ago. We travelled around Southeast Asia for 4 months before flying to Sydney, and we've been in Australia for almost a year as well. And I hadn't really touched on the benefits of travelling and how it really changes you as a person, because it does. I'm not the same person I was when I left England. I've gone through probably several versions of myself, and I think that happens to everybody. You meet so many different people, you go through so many different experiences, and you have to learn and adapt. So I thought I'd go through some benefits. Number 1, it really opens your eyes to how big the world is. For us, we travelled halfway across the world. We went to Southeast Asia, so things were completely different. The first place we landed was Bangkok, and I'd never ever felt so much white privilege as being in that taxi from the airport to our first place where we were staying, and just seeing how different the streets were to how they are back home. Very hard to describe if you haven't been. Just very sort of run-down streets. There's hundreds of telephone and power cables all just bundled together running down the street. It's really hard to explain, but that for me was very eye-opening, seeing that as a first experience being in a country like that. I've been to Spain and places on holiday, but this is really the other side of how people live. So very eye-opening. You see the different cultures, you see what's important to people, how they live their life. It's not just life back home, but somewhere else in the world. It's a completely different lifestyle, and yeah, there's a lot to learn and appreciate. Number 2. It sounds very cliche, and it kind of is, but it's true. You do learn a lot about yourself. I'm not saying, oh, you go away and you find yourself. You just learn a lot about yourself and how you are in certain situations, what you're really capable of. There's certain situations you probably wouldn't encounter back home, so you don't know how you would ever deal with that. Whereas when you're travelling and you've got to book your own transport, you've got to go on sleeper buses and night buses and stay in hostels and plan everything yourself, and you're not 100% sure if that's the right thing that you're booking, or if is it going to work. But you realise you can do it, and you can navigate your way around all these very new and strange countries that you're not necessarily used to, but you can do it, and you are very durable. Humans are. You learn and adapt. Just a plane going past there. We live very close to the airport. So yeah, you learn a lot about yourself. And I think that's how you change, and you go through different versions of yourself. You There's ups and there's downs. You learn how to deal with things, I think, and everything's intensified because you're not in your normal routine. Does that make sense? You have to learn to deal with it because you have to keep moving. Yeah. You meet so many new people. We have made friends for life. We were on the other side of the world in Cambodia, and we met a group of people from Bristol and from Wales, where we had just come from, which was ridiculous. People who we still talk to now, and we will meet up with back home. You do, especially if you're staying in hostels like we did. It's very hard to avoid making friends and sort of talking to people, but that's all part of it. When you're at home and you're in your normal routine of waking up, going to work, going to the gym or going to play football, coming home, sleeping, and then doing it all again 5 days a week, or then you have your weekend life with your friends, which is great. If you have your same group of friends, that's good. But you're not put in those situations. Well, most people aren't put in those situations where you go and meet new people, see so many new faces every day. There's a new person coming or going, and it doesn't really happen unless, for me, it hasn't really happened unless you're travelling and you're staying in hostels with all these 10, 12, 16 bed dorm rooms. You're going to meet people, and you're going to like people, and you're going to stay in touch with people. And I haven't just met people from home, from Bristol or from Wales. I'm very good friends with a Finnish guy, with an Australian guy, and more. But also, they're people I always keep in contact. But even when you're travelling, you meet people from different parts of the world. You might only be travelling one country, but other nationalities are also travelling to that one country. So even though you're just there, you can still talk to these people and learn about their countries and their cultures and their traditions and how it is for them back home. You meet people of all ages. You don't just meet people your own age. We've seen families, we've seen older people, much younger people. I was quite old, I'm almost 30. I considered myself almost too old for travelling. There was quite a lot of young people. Anyway, don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, you can meet a lot of people all over the world, even if you're just in one country. That's where I'm going with that. Number 5, minimalism. You really, really learn to appreciate how much stuff you just have at home for the sake of having it. When you're forced to live out of a backpack for 5-6 months, you really have to think about what you actually need. Space is a huge factor in there. You're not going to be walking around and flying around or getting on buses with 4 or 5 suitcases every single place you go to. It's not going to happen. You won't be able to carry it. You've got a big backpack, and you'll have a day pack, and everything you own, everything you travel with, has to fit in these 2 bags. Mostly 2 bags. And you realise you don't actually need a lot. You can get by on just having those things, a bag full of clothes, and then you have your passport, your phone, your charger, a laptop if you need one, and really that's all you need. You can pretty much get by with not a lot of stuff. It's nice to have things at home, of course. Since we've been in Sydney, sort of based for a bit, we have the TV and on demand, and we've been buying a few things just because we've got back into the routine. But when you're travelling, you don't need a lot. That's another tip. If you are going travelling and you're fretting about packing everything into your backpack, don't stress. As long as you've got the essentials, you'll be fine. Number 6, it's life experience like no other. That is the first time I've been travelling. I think we pretty much jumped in at the deep end. I'm glad I did. I wouldn't have done it any other way, but I suppose there would have been another way if you just went travelling to go somewhere for a month or 2 months. We've been away for over a year, and it's just been one massive journey, which sounds so cliche, but it has been. It's life before we left the UK now seems like a lifetime away. I can't really, obviously I can remember what it was like, but it's hard to think. What am I trying to say? It's hard to be back in that space where I hadn't travelled anywhere. Not sure if that makes sense, but I know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's life experience. You end up in weird and wonderful situations. We've been swimming in waterfalls in Cambodia. We've been in the beaches of Vietnam and Thailand, diving in Koh Tao. We've been up massive skyscraper towers in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. We've managed to find ourselves on the back of a school bus when we were trying to get from one side of Thailand to the other, sat on the floor on our bags for 4 or 5 hours. You don't ever think these things are going to work out right, but they do, and you get through it, and it's an experience, and it's fun, and it just, you have faith in people, it builds your character, it sort of evolves you, it changes you. It's fun, it's very fun. Which brings me on to number 7. You get thrown out of your comfort zone a lot, and you just have to learn to deal with it. You roll with the punches. Yeah, you're out of your comfort zone, you have to deal with it. You can't just go, all right, now I'm going home, this is too much, I don't like it. You deal with it, you find ways around it. Again, and it's character building. Number 8. Personally, for me, it's taught me to look forward to social situations. At home, outside of football or my close friendship group. Since I moved to Bristol, I haven't had a huge friendship group, but close friends and family. The thought of big social events or meeting new people or parties or stuff like that, it did intimidate me, and I always thought, oh, no, I don't really fancy it. I could quite happily just pass it by and just chill by myself at home and let the evening go. But since meeting so many people and being interested in how other people live and what it's like for people in other parts of the world, I think you do start to look forward. For me, I started to look forward to going out and talking to people and learning from other people. Yeah, I don't have to be intimidated by these situations. Yeah. Number 9. It really makes you appreciate the family and friends you have at home when you can't see them every day or talk to them every day. We've been away for a long time. I really cannot wait to get back and see family. It's a bit difficult for me because family live in various parts of the UK, but hopefully going to have some time off when we go back and see everybody, and just can't wait to spend some time with everybody. Yeah, and make the most of that. Number 10, it's fun. There's a reason why people go travel around the world and stay in hostels and live out of backpacks and get put in these situations. It's just fun. You realise it's okay. Obviously there's horror stories and I won't go into that. For the most part, it's fun. People do it, people will continue to do it. We're gonna do it again at some point after having a little base at home for a while. It's fun. And that was 10 benefits of travelling by me. Sorry if this didn't go the way you thought it was gonna go for the vlog, but very grey and miserable outside. It just cut me off. I think I've been talking for too long. So that was some benefits of travelling. If you're thinking about travelling, I know not everybody is lucky enough to be able to go, and it's obviously you have to save up a lot of money and you might have ties at home, etc. But even if you have the chance to go for a little while, definitely go. Grab the opportunity, I think, and just go for it. You don't have to be gone for 4 or 5 months. You don't have to be on the other side of the world. Just go to a new country, learn about a new culture, take the night buses, be cramped on small boats or tuk-tuks, meet new people, throw yourself into what you might think are scary situations, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to work out fine and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Yeah. I think that shall conclude this video.